Well, for those of you following the last couple years of drama in USPSA, it appears like things are finally starting to reach critical mass. So we've got a big board meeting this week. The USPSA board's meeting, lots of interesting issues to discuss. So first, there's that big incident recently with Troy at Nationals chewing out one of the range officers because of stuff that he posted on social media. Essentially, he just disagrees with Troy or says stuff that Troy doesn't like on social media. Like, frankly, I don't even really care what the guy posted. Like, this sort of thing is pretty normal. Now, the word is, if the board doesn't do anything about Troy, this guy is going to take his story and make it more public on social media. I'll try to get him on here with me just to talk about what happened, because I think people might find that interesting. But I have to be really clear. Troy chewing someone out for, kind of an unjustified reason, that's totally normal. That probably happens at every match that Troy works to one degree or another. I mean, that's totally normal. It's so amazing that people that have been around for a while or that know Troy are like, well, yeah, Troy, of course Troy does that all the time. No one really cares. But because it went a little bit viral within the USPSA circles on the internet, now the board, I think, is going to be forced to at least address it. So there'll be probably something in the minutes. We'll see if they do anything disciplinary against Troy. And if not, the victim in that situation, the guy he chewed out, I'll try to get him on here just to talk about it, because it'll be fun and interesting for people. Now, on top of that, we've got a lot of, the board's now getting pressure from a lot of different angles. So you've got Derek, that's USPSA Insights, is posting all this insider financial information, which, as far as anyone can tell, is very credible. Stuff about miscategorized expenses. Like, they put a bunch of World Shoot expenses under communications and internet or something. It's very strange. It looks like either gross negligence or some type of shenanigans, or maybe some combination of the two. It's clear that, we're not really getting answers to a lot of the financial questions, and there seems to be more and more and more financial questions as time goes on. Like, for example, I think Insights has been digging into Bruce One, who's been on and off the board for decades now. He's been on and off the USPSA board for decades now, and he's tacitly sort of accusing him of making a bunch of money when the Steel Challenge organization was sold to USPSA. Oh, can't wait to find that out. That's going to be also very entertaining. So you have that. You have the financial stuff starting to come out. And on top of that, these guys have all been personally named in a lawsuit by Papa Joe. Hey, he's another guy that got kicked out, but he's mad about it and he's suing them. So now they're afraid to say anything. And they have leaks inside of the organization. I don't think they know who or what is leaking. I really don't think they have any idea. They're inclined to blame other board members, but I don't think it's the board members leaking. I think they've got a big problem at USPSA. So they're getting sued over here, but there's leaks, so they can't talk about the lawsuit because they're completely in the wrong when it comes to the lawsuit. They absolutely railroaded Papa Joe in a very unfair way, and any talking about it could be leaked and could just make their lives worse. So it is amazing. It really seems like it's getting close to a breaking point. On top of that, we have the elections finishing up. Let's say if they get Ben Berry on the board, then the two kind of, I don't want to say they're hostile board members, but you have two honest board members who are trying to fix USPSA. If just Ben Berry gets on the board, then those guys are protected from being arbitrarily removed from the board because they have enough votes that they could put a stop to that. And if they get Luigi as president and Ben Berry, that's not a majority of votes, but that's certainly getting pretty close. So lots of pressure from lots of different angles on the board this week. And like I said, it looks like it's getting close to a time where things are going to start popping. I'm starting to see that on social media too. There's a lot more people looking at these issues, looking at the USPSA stuff. They're like, hey man, there's some, yeah, whatever, Ben's an asshole. I don't like the way that these guys are talking about stuff. But there does seem to be a lot of issues here, and that does really appear to be true. I mean, like, a lot of people are waking up to this. For example, this is a repost. This is a leaked email from March of this year, but Insight, it was leaked previously, but Insight's reposted it, and now it's actually getting some traction. We're talking about in March, Scott Arnberg, that's the Area 3 director, head of the Finance Committee. I would consider him an honest guy. Like, he's actually trying to fix the issues going on in USPSA. All he's doing is asking, in his emails, all he's doing is asking for financial information. He's just like, hey, the bylaws state the Finance Committee will oversee the transfer of funds between reserve and operational accounts. How can the Finance Committee possibly anticipate the future financial needs of the organization without a clear understanding of the day-to-day finances? As chair of the committee, it's my role to do the data gathering, lead Finance Committee meetings, and present findings to the board. So essentially what's going on here, and I'm not going to read the whole email. Insights is posted on Instagram if you want to read it. But Scott is trying to get just basic financial stuff from the board. And he is chair of the Finance Committee. He's an elected board member of a nonprofit organization. You understand? Like, he just wants to know, like, hey, where's this money go? Where's that? Like, how does all this work? Like, just send me the documents or whatever. And they won't do it. They won't send the documents to him. As a matter of fact, the response he got from Layton, that's the Area 2 director, this would not be one of the honest people on the board, by the way. The response he got was not very positive, and the response he got from Yemen, who was the president at the time, was not very positive. Yemen says, I acknowledge and understand Scott's email could be construed as hostile and threatening. As a board, we will want to improve the organization's current financial status to ensure the sport's long-term viability. Moving forward, I'm asking that the board use the attached form for information requests and proposed tasks or projects for Donna and her team. Please submit the form with Donna as a primary recipient with the rest of the board CC. This will assist Donna with managing team priorities and provide the board visibility and tracking. So that's Yemen, and I've been saying it for a while. Yemen sucks. He's not part of the solution for USPSA, and this is a very good example why. So you have Scott, who's being very nice and being very reasonable. It's like, hey, I just want this information. And Yemen says, oh, I can see how that'd be construed as threatening. Here, fill out this form and ask for information again, and then copy the whole board on it. It does appear that like different personalities on the board, I'm talking about Bruce One, Layton, and Ted specifically, those guys are very sensitive about information getting out, and they're doing their best to stop it. Yemen is either too stupid to see that this is going on, or doesn't care and just wants to play both sides he wanted to stay in the position he's in. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, Yemen's clearly not part of the solution, as this leaked email shows. But you see the response to that from Layton, the Area 2 director. Yemen, thank you for your attention in addressing this and acknowledge that the Area 3 director's manner was hostile and threatening. However, you did not say what action would be taken against the director threatening legal action against the salaried managing director. Is this something you support? Do you condone this behavior? Would this be acceptable to USPSA legal counsel? Layton. Layton's like you could see there's a hypersensitivity to any discussion of the financial stuff, that it'll be taken as construed as threatening. Hell, when I was talking about this stuff in public, they said I was bringing the organization into disrepute for just talking about the stuff that they were doing. I mean, it's a little crazy, but let's just boil it down. As you can tell, you probably can't even follow all the stuff I'm talking about because there's so much of it. And in my view, that's a good sign. There's so much stuff happening for the board now. Like, I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to keep this up. It's becoming clear to a lot of people, it's like, at least financially, they're hiding a lot of shit. Like, I don't know where the money's been going. I don't think that they've been, like, emptying out hundreds of thousands of dollars into their personal bank accounts. Like, I don't believe that. But there's something going on that they don't want people to know about, and that is very clear. And we're getting closer to finding out what it is. So it's an exciting time battling the USPSA board, that's for sure. I'll be watching. I think you should be watching the minutes this week too. I think it should be exciting.